Hello, JA musicians. This is Mrs. Meskimen, and today I thought that we would try something fun. I am going to play Mr. Greene's normal song on my soprano recorder. So I don't know if you've been watching the morning announcements with Mr. Greene, but I've been watching, and he's been writing all sorts of amazing songs to share with us each day. He's challenged himself to write a different song every day. But one of the songs that he's written is called The Normal Song, and I've seen a lot of JA musicians figuring out the notes of the normal song, the melody and the rhythm, and playing the normal song on instruments that they have at home. So I thought that maybe today we could learn how to play it on our soprano recorders. It's a little bit challenging, but it's super fun once you get the hang of it. So the normal song that we're going to start with today is just going to have 4 phrases. It's going to be the basic melody that Mr. Greene uses and repeats throughout his song. So it's got 4 phrases, and on our recorder, the phrase is going to start on the note G, and that's a note that many of us already know how to play. So with your recorder, you put your thumb on the hole on the back and your first 3 fingers on the top holes on the front, and make sure, once again, that you're using nice, holy fingers where you're covering those holes completely. Remember that any leaks, the air is going to come out and it's going to squeak. So we need nice coverage of those holes so that we don't have any leaks. We don't want any squeaks. And then also remember to use nice hot air, warm, gentle air when you blow into your recorder, and that will really make the best sound. All right? So the first phrase of the song starts on a G, and we're going to play the G twice. We're going to play once a little bit longer and once a little bit shorter. And then we're going to be moving to the third note. And the third note is new for many of us. That note is called F sharp. And so how you're going to do that is I'd like for you to put all your fingers onto the holes on the recorder. So you've got your left fingers covering the holes at the top, and then your right hand is going to cover the 4 holes at the bottom. All right? To play the F sharp, you need to lift your first finger off and your pinky. But you're going to leave your middle finger and your third finger right on, your second and third fingers, right on that recorder. Now that's not the first note of our song, so the thing that makes it tricky is that we're going to start with our G and then we have to play our F sharp after the G. So one little trick that I like to do is I put my fingers on for F sharp and I just lift them up a little bit so that they're ready when I need to just drop them down. They're just going to kind of hover there until it's time for them to play, and they're the third note. So the pattern is going to go G, G, F sharp. Would you say that with me and move your fingers, hovering those 2 right hand fingers so that they can drop? Ready? Say it. Here we go. G, G, F sharp. Try again. G, G, F sharp. Good. Now let's play that. Ready, set, and here we go. Good. One more time. Ready, go. Excellent. Now after we play that F sharp, we're going to go right back up to the G. So now let's add that. G, G, F sharp, G. Ready, go. Good. Try that one more time. Excellent. After we play that G, we're going to go back to the F sharp. So now our pattern is G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp. Try and say that with me and move your fingers. G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp. Excellent. Now let's play that a couple times. Ready, go. One more time. Ready, go. Good job. The last note of the first phrase is a note called E. And to play an E, you're going to put your first finger down on that hole and your third finger comes off. So you're switching your first and third finger. So F sharp to E, F sharp to E. And if you can move those fingers at the same time, it's going to leave a nice transition between those two notes. So we've got F sharp to E. Let's practice saying that and moving our fingers a few times. F sharp, E. F sharp, E. F sharp, E. Good. Let's play that a couple times. Good. So that was F sharp to E. And we're going to add that to the rest of the pattern. So I'll say it for you once. G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E. All right? So now let's try to play that. Ready? Starts on G. Your fingers are hovering, so they're ready to drop on that third note. Here we go. One more time. Yes, and I'm playing super hot air, especially when I'm playing those lower notes, because there's more holes covered, and so there's more room for little leaks to happen, and also the air needs to just be super gentle when you're playing those low notes. When it comes to low notes on the recorder, less air is going to make a more beautiful sound. Less is more for the low notes. All right, so now we've got the first phrase done. So the second phrase, we're going to start on a note called A. And again, many of you are familiar with A. And we're going to play A 3 times. And then we're going to go to a G. And then we're going to go to that F sharp. All right, so that's how the second phrase begins. 3 A's, a G, and the F sharp. So once again, I'm going to have these fingers kind of hovering, ready for their job when it's their turn to play. So it'll go A, G, F sharp. Try that with me. A, G, F sharp. Good. Now let's play that. Try again. Excellent. So after we play that F sharp, we're going to go back to that E. So remember, for E, you just switch your first and your third finger. All right. And then after the E, we're going to put our third finger back down, and that's going to make a new note. That note is called D. So now we've got A, G, F sharp, E, D. Move your fingers and say those letters with me if you can. Here we go. A, G, F sharp, E, D. One more time. A, G, F sharp, E, D. And now I'm going to play that second phrase from the A's. Ready, go. Good, let's try that again. All right, so now we have the first phrase, G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E. And the second phrase, A, G, F sharp, E, D. Would you please move your fingers and say those notes while I do that as well? Here we go. G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E. A, G, F sharp, E, D. And now I'm going to play the first two phrases of the normal song. Ready? Starts on the G. Here we go. And don't forget to keep those fingers hovering so they're ready for their job when it comes. All right, so now we're going to start the third phrase. And the third phrase is almost exactly like the first phrase. And so instead of starting on G twice, we're going to actually play 3 G's. So we've got G, 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 and then we're going to go to the F sharp, back to the G, back to the F sharp, and then to the E. All right, so the only difference between the first phrase and the third phrase is that it starts with 3 G's in the third phrase, and the first phrase, it's just those 2 at the beginning. So watch while I move my fingers, and you can maybe join me moving your fingers while I say the notes, all right? G, 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 F sharp, G, F sharp, E. Try that again. G, 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 F sharp, G, F sharp, E. And now I'm going to play that. Third phrase. Here we go. One more time. 3 G's at the beginning for the third phrase. Here we go. Great. Now, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed or you need to take a little break, what you can do is you can review the video and start practicing the first 3 phrases and take a little time to practice each of them before moving on. But right now I'm going to move on to the 4th and final phrase of the song. So the last phrase is going to start on a note A, just like the second phrase did. And we're going to play 3 A's, and then we're going to have a challenge. We're going to need to go from A all the way down to D. All right, so both of those notes we used in phrase 2, where we were A, G, F sharp, E, D. But now we're just going to go from the A all the way down to the D. So just like we did before, where your fingers kind of hover, I've got my third finger in my left hand and 3 fingers in my right hand. I'm going to kind of feel where the holes are and then lift those fingers up because I'm going to have to drop them pretty quickly after I play the A's at the beginning of the last phrase. And we're going to do 3 A's and then 2 D's. All right? So it's going to go like this. A, D, D. Try that with me. A, D, D. One more time. A, D, D. Okay, so now let's try and play that a few times. Goes from 3 A's to 2 D's. Hovering. Here we go. Good, try that again. One more time. Good. And the last note of the song is right back where we started on a G. So we're going to play A, D, D, G. Watch my fingers while I sing it. A, D, D, G. Can you say that with me? A, D, D, G. Good. One more time. Move your fingers while you say it. A, D, D, G. And now we'll play it. Ready? Here we go. Good. One more time. Ready? And that's the 4th phrase. So now we know all 4 phrases of the song, and all we need to do is put them together. If you're feeling like you need a little time to practice, then pause the video and practice the phrases individually before you put it together. It's also great to just take a little part at a time if it's being tricky and giving you a little trouble, to just take that part and isolate it and just work on moving your fingers. So if it's from the A to the D, then practice that. If it's tricky to go from F sharp to E to D, or from F sharp to E, or F sharp to G, then just practice those little transitions and it will help you when you then add it to the rest of the song and put it into the steady beat of the song. But I'm going to start at the beginning and I'm going to sing through it once while I move my fingers, and you can join me if you'd like. Here we go. G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E. A, G, F sharp, E, D. G, 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 F sharp, G, F sharp, E. A, D, D, G. And now I'm going to play Mr. Greene's normal song. Ready, set, and here we go. Hey, that was wonderful. And if you wanted to try, you can go a little slower with your tempo. It might sound something like this. 1, 2, here we go. Or you can test yourself and go a little faster. Good luck. 1, 2, here we go. All right, so there were 3 different tempos you could use, and you can practice that song and try it slow, and try it medium, and try it at a faster tempo or speed. And that's Mr. Greene's normal song. I hope you had fun learning that with me today. I certainly had fun learning it and playing it. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you real soon. All right, bye everyone.